everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a Dazzled or Disappointed for you on the new Too Faced Natural Face Palette. I did not pick up anything else from the collection, so the Natural Matte, I have that one in the little tin packaging and I didn't love it enough to want to try it out in the new formula. Also, the Natural Eye palette was one of the super heavy-duty, old-school box type palette packagings, and I had a long time ago, or some time ago, I guess in my last declutter, moved that one on. I probably tossed it because it was so old and didn't really feel the need to repurchase that one. Now, if I remember right, back in the day, Too Faced did have a natural face palette, and I think this is kind of along those same lines. I had never picked that one up. Now, we're talking years ago, but this one I really did want to pick up because I really don't have anything from Too Faced that's really a palette of face products. Now, I also did forego the lipsticks, and that's because usually Too Faced lipsticks slip and slide on my lips, and I just really, again, didn't feel the need to pick any of those up. They look beautiful. The colors, the shade range looks really nice. But as far as the formula, I think I'm going to wait and see what people say about them, because I just really, I don't like something that lasts for like an hour and then I have to keep reapplying. And so that was the reason for that. But if you're interested in the Too Faced natural face palette and you want to see swatches, thoughts, all that good stuff, then just keep on watching. Alright, so their packaging is really nice. It comes in something very different than what we're used to seeing. So this is the box. You'd think, okay, it's just your typical run-of-the-mill box, even though it's got the nice little gold trim here at the bottom. But what's nice about this is that it lifts up. I think that's really neat. That's pretty darn cool. And then you have just a gold box that carries the palette inside. Now let me read to you what the back of the box says. It says, fall in love with the first face palette that uses your own natural beauty to luminize, add a bronzing veil, and a flirty flush, making all your effortless beauty dreams come true. The velvety soft formula is infused with hydrating coconut butter and includes multi-dimensional shades that can be worn all over the face to take your natural beauty game to the next level. So it is what I'm wearing on my face today. I actually combined it with using the Born This Way foundation, just so that I could make it like a whole Too Faced one-stop shop today. Now, let me go ahead and give you a few other details. It contains 2 bronzing veils at 0.14 ounces. It contains 2 blushes at 0.14 ounces, and it contains 2 highlighters, also same amount, 0.14 ounces. Let's see, for price reference, it is $44. I picked mine up at Ulta, it's now available on Sephora, and of course it launched first on the Too Faced website. I did not, you know what, Macy's also carries it, because I didn't check to see if it was still in stock there. I'm sure it is, hasn't really sold out anywhere. But that's where I was first thinking of picking it up, but once Ulta released it, I decided to go that route. So, for packaging, you know I'm a sucker for packaging, and that's one of the reasons I really was drawn into this collection, and I thought, okay, I already know, as beautiful as the packaging is, I don't want the palettes, but I could go the route of the face palette and try different face products and also have beautiful packaging. So here's what it looks like. So you've got like an acrylic packaging. It's almost kind of rounded up. You see it's kind of like bubbled up. I don't know how else to describe that. And then the lettering is in gold, and it is like on top of the plastic. So it is raised. And then you've got a pretty little heart, almost kind of like the, this little touch reminds me of the peach, the Peachy Mattes palette, where it has a little peach thingies there on the end. On the back, really nothing much other than a label, and then the color is just so pretty to this. It's very nude, so it's just very classy, very pretty. The top portion has like lace type print on it, so obviously that print is under the plastic. So it's really nice. It's sturdy. It's very, it doesn't feel cheap, and I very much like that. So let's go into the palette now. And you've got the full-size mirror, and it does bend all the way back. You've got 6 face products like we just mentioned. It has 2 bronzers, 2 blushes, and 2 highlights. So I have consistently been wearing this palette for the past probably, it's been a good week, I would say. Maybe even a little bit longer. I lose track of time. I think it's been maybe we're looking at maybe almost a week and a half now. But the reason I picked it up at Ulta, hold on, let me grab it, is because I have been kind of taking advantage of the 21 Days of Beauty, which I wasn't going to do because when I first glanced at all that, I didn't see anything I wanted. And as of course I've been getting the daily notifications, I'm like, oh, I don't think I saw that before in the ad. So the day that the Pores No More primer was on sale for half off, this was also on my loves list, so I added it to my cart. And I think they still have this promo going on. If you buy, I think it's like $40 or more for Too Faced, you get a little rainbow bag, which looks to be part of kind of like their unicorn collection. And then you get freebies in here, which I am not a fan of the Better Than Sex mascara. And then they did include a shadow insurance, which I've kind of been getting away from insurance primers, eye primers, because I've really just been using concealer and then I set it. So, and I've been really liking that route. It's kind of, it avoids or eliminates a step. So anyways, but that's a pretty neat deal. And the bag seems pretty cute. It doesn't seem like super chintzy or anything. Anyways, so that was that. Now, let me go ahead and start you with swatches. I'll then let you know what I'm wearing on my face and then we can go into thoughts from there. Okay, here we go. You've got the two highlighters, which are Starlight and Satin Sheets. And Satin Sheets, if I remember right, was one of the shades in the Natural Eye Palette, at least back when I had it. So that is obviously kind of they followed in those footsteps. Then you've got Pink Wink and Pink Sand. And then just for reference, I am wearing Satin Sheets on my face today, and I am wearing Pink Sand as my blush. I have consistently been wearing Pink Wink, and so I have to kind of change it up here and there, especially because of the eye look I did today. So that's what those look like. You've got the two highlighters down there and then the two blushes right up there. Very in theme with this collection, very natural, very flush of color, something to kind of make your skin look healthy. So that's what those look like. Now let's go into the bronzers. Okay, these are the two bronzers. It's Sunny Honey and Tropic Like It's Hot, which today I am wearing Sunny Honey. Tropic Like It's Hot also is very, very natural. This one looks nice and not as orangey, I guess. And then you've got Tropic Like It's Hot, which has more of a sheen. I appreciate that in my bronzers. Not a lot of people do. I really like that. I think it kind of gives you that added glow. And here is what they look like. Again, very natural looking, very opaque, honestly, and that's not something you usually think of in the same sentence, opaque and natural looking, but truly, it is very natural looking, kind of the shades you would get when you have a really nice tan. If you hear like, not a chainsaw, but if you hear noise in the background, my husband is on the back deck trying to replace some of the boards. And he's got the little saw going, so that is what that, sometimes I don't realize how magnified certain sounds are, and there'll be times where like he'll walk by the hallway and we have a floorboard that creaks and I'll totally hear it when I'm editing a video. And then there's times where like in my last video or a couple videos back, depending on when I post this, Pongo was in here going to town on his bone and you could totally hear it. Like, I don't know if y'all are old school. Some of y'all may be old school and like old school movies. Well, if you have seen Singing in the Rain, you may know what I'm talking about with the whole silent movie. Then they add sound and there's that scene where she's like going to town with her pearls or her beads or whatever and it's super loud. Anyways, total squirrel moment, but every time I edit and I have a super magnified noise in the background, that's the movie I think of. Okay guys, so before I keep rambling, I'm going to reiterate what I have on my face. As my highlight, I have Satin Sheets. I will tell you, I always use a base. I always use a cream highlight as my kind of base for powder highlight, and I am wearing the Josie Maran Argan Oil highlighter, the liquid. I went in with this and then I kind of amped it up a little bit, and some of y'all don't like it when I do that. I'm very sorry because you want to see what the actual product looks like. I amped it up with a little bit of the Cover FX glitter drops. So, but I will come back to thoughts on that here in a second. Then I have got Sunny Honey as my bronzer kind of on my forehead, and then I don't contour very often, and those of you who have been with me for pretty much the life of this channel. No, I don't like to contour very often because I'm not very good at it. It ends up looking muddy on me, and I just know I haven't mastered the technique, which is totally fine for me because it's an added step, and a lot of times I don't really have the time. But I do like to bronze my cheeks up a little bit, and so I did do that, kind of took it down to my chin just a little bit. I am wearing Pink Sand Blush, which is the mauve of the two blushes. It's not the bright one, it is the more toned down shade. So that being said, let me zoom you right in and you can see. So I'm wearing the, I've got like total shine right here. Anyways, I've got the bronzer going on right there. I've got the highlight going on right there. Again, with the Cover FX glitter drops just lightly dabbed. I will say the majority of that shine is the highlighter in this palette. I just wanted to kick it up a notch. That's the only reason. And then I've got bronzer like right here, and then in the middle right here I have got the mauve type blush. So as you can see, super natural looking, super glowy, just right in line with what they claim this to be as far as natural face. So now that we've gone through that, let me give you real quick thoughts. So the bronzers, I don't know, they warm up my face in a way that I'm loving. I think they just go on so nicely. The bronzers, well, Tropic Like It's Hot, which is the darker of the two, do have to go in with a lighter hand. It is opaque. So you kind of have to just build it up. And oh my gosh, Sunny Honey, which is the one I'm wearing right now. The other day, when I wore it for the first time, I passed a bathroom mirror and I was like, oh my gosh, my skin looks so healthy. As far as the blushes, they are very pigmented, not in a bad way, not to where if you, literally I have gone in with too heavy of a hand and I was able to blend it out no problem, didn't look like clown face or anything like that, looked so good. However, they are very pigmented and you don't need a whole lot. So start with a little bit, build it up, that kind of thing. The blushes really do also make your skin look healthy, flushed, just a healthy color to your skin. Now we're going to get onto the highlights, which usually is my favorite part. Now Satin Sheets, like I told you, it is very glowy. It does have a very strong gold tone, and it's not on, it doesn't look bad on me. It's just a little more gold than I would like. You guys know that I tend to like more champagne type shades. I don't like the super gold. Just know this has a very strong gold tone. Then you come to Starlight, and this is kind of like a, I think they describe it like as a multi-dimensional type highlight. I think this one too, but this one has a very strong pink tone. Now I'm really not one to be a super fan of this type of pink. There are certain pinks I love, like the Makeup Forever, you know how they have the two highlighters, the pink one and the gold. I love that pink, but it's because it's almost more of a super glowy, gelée washed out pink to where it almost could look a little more neutral. This is more of like a, not a duochrome pink, but I don't know how to describe it to you. I guess because they call it multi-dimensional. I am not as into these types of pinks as I am other shades of highlight. So in all honesty, that one looks good if you amp it up with something like one of the Makeup Forever Starlit liquids. With that, it looks really nice because you're adding kind of like a pink base glittery top, and it does make it pop, but I'm just not a fan of these types of shades. So all in all, what I would tell you is I love this palette. I think it's absolutely amazing. I think you get two selections from each face section, which is really nice. The only one I'll tell you that wasn't up my alley was that pink highlight. So that one will likely not get a whole lot of use out of, you know, from me, but everything else I've been going to town. This is really, really nice. I'm glad they released something like this. Now I will tell you also, the highlighters are, in my opinion, a little bit powdery, I guess. I mean, they feel soft, but there's something about them that, you know how when you put it on, you're like, that just kind of sets a little powdery on my skin, like it's sitting on top of my skin, and it kind of does that. But the bronzers and the blushes absolutely do not do that, and I really think this is a good deal for your money. In addition to the nice pans of product, you get really amazing packaging. I really think Too Faced did a great job. Now, based on this, I'm going to assume they did a great job on the palettes as well. Like I said, I'm probably not going to pick those up. Just so that you know, you do get the typical Too Faced how-to glamour guide. You know they always put those in here. I always end up throwing them away because they get, like, then you get so many of them and you're like, oh my goodness, let's declutter a little bit. Anyways, Dazzled for me, love it. I think $44, good price tag. I will tell you that the Sephora sale starts on April 13th for VIB Rouge. So if you've already watched my Sephora Loves list, I had mentioned it'd probably be the 17th or around there. So I'm happy to say it's kind of close to that. Glad I wasn't totally off. Starts the 13th to the 16th for first access for Rouge, and then it tiers out from there for VIB and then Beauty Insiders. So if you have your eye on this, I highly doubt it's going to sell out from now till then. Just hold on and add it to your cart once the sale starts and get 15% off. Okay guys, last couple of things before we wrap this up. I do want to let you know this is made in the USA, at least the box says bulk made in USA, assembled in Dominican Republic, but just FYI, you do know it is made in the USA. The other thing I want to point out, which I try to do as much as possible, is I think this would be suitable for quite a few skin tones. I mean, I don't think every single pan of product in here would be suitable for my deeper skin tone ladies. However, I think there is enough in here to kind of justify you looking into this. There's that deeper bronzer I think would really work, and then I think you can get use of that gold highlight as well as the blushes. But I just want to throw that out there as well. I don't think this is a total miss from that standpoint. I think you, if you've been interested in this, I think give this a look, because this looks like it could be very well suitable for many skin tones, which is great. I love to see that from companies. Okay guys, before I let you go, you know I need to give you the verse of the day. This video won't go up till after Easter, but I do want to give you kind of an Easter related verse. I like to call it Resurrection Sunday, but I know that it's, like I said, we're past that date. But for the verse of the day, I will give you John 3:16, which many of you probably already know this. And it's, "For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life." All right, guys, I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I hope you're going to have a wonderful week ahead. Take care. Please stay tuned because more videos to come this week. I will see you very soon. Bye, guys.